Welcome to Live, Let Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
of Live,
Let
Thrive. What's up, Myka man?
What up, Stevie Stacks? What you been up to?
Well, we're in the hundies. We're deep in the hundies now. We're at episode 101 of the Live, Let Thrive podcast, man. This is it's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. We had a good episode last week. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. But yeah, man, we are 101. We're now aiming for 200. So yeah, man. How's the Airbnb world on your side?
Airbnb world it's going good. I just got a last minute booking yesterday because nobody. Let me see. You remember I had all the gaps to fill? Remember I told you that it looked like a rib carcass.
Yeah.
Well, someone ended up booking yesterday from Tuesday to. They filled in the whole gap from Tuesday all the way till Friday, and also on that note, I got my very first time. I asked the guest to take the trash out, and my reasoning was, I said, you know what? Guess what? It was like around noon. I said, when are y'all looking to check in? He goes, as soon as possible. Blah blah. I was like, well, check-in's 4, but I'm gonna give y'all an early check-in because the house happens to be ready right now. If you could do one favor for me, I'd really appreciate it because I had planned to go by the house today and put the trash out front. Oh yeah, that's no problem. I was like, hey, the guys were right, man. All you got to do is ask nicely, and they took the trash out for me. So there you go.
There you go, man. That's how you ask, how you do it, man. You can't go to him and ask him, hey, the other week, my past guest trash is out there. Go take it out. You can't say that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I told you, man. It works.
And it's funny because I talked to the great Adam James today.
Okay.
And he was on, episode 100, the one that's going off right now. And I told him the same thing. I was like, hey, man, the advice from you and Myka, that really paid off. First time I asked the guests to take the trash out, and they had no problems with it. And he goes, well, I told you. I told you how that would work, and it worked. And he goes, but I am kind of mad at you and Myka. I'm trying to do his voice. I don't know. He's got a deep booming voice. Anyways, he said, yeah, I'm kind of mad at you guys because for the first time ever, I got a bad review because I asked a guest to take the trash out for me. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I've never got a bad review from a guest for asking to take the trash out until I did y'all's episode on your podcast, and then all of a sudden this lady complained, yeah, he made me take the trash out, and I'm a guest. I shouldn't have to do that.
All in how you ask, man. All in how you ask.
He's like, but I don't care about reviews anymore, so it's no big deal.
Same to me. I don't care about them no more. Yeah, I really don't care about reviews.
So that's what I've been up to. I've been real quick. Yeah, I will go into it deeper too. I've been Adam James has inspired me to look deeply into the Turo. So yeah, I've been looking into the Turo, trying to find a car and everything. So that's what I've been.
Go to if you want a nice 2018 model for $10,000, go to Hertz car rentals, car sales.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can get your 2018, 2019, about 10 grand. A Kia.
10 grand?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even tell you what kind. I'm looking for like a Camaro.
Ugh. Yeah, you're about to drop some money for that. That's about what? A Camaro about what? 28? 15, 28?
Well, like
depending on the year.
Yeah, like I was saying about Camaros, they're not too bad, man. They're not too bad. And used ones, I'm hoping to get one anywhere between 10 and 15. See what Adam James told me. He said that because I was telling him about what I was planning to do and this and that. He goes, yeah, just find you a $10,000 car. Don't go out there and try to get you a fancy, expensive car, man. He goes, a $10,000 car, you can cash flow. And it looks nice. He goes, his older Lexus does better than his BMW, whatever, his new BMW and all this stuff. He goes, all the people care about is when they want to look good when they roll up to wherever they're going.
Real talk, man. Yeah, that's who makes the most money. Those people who put those fancy cars on there, yeah, they make a lot of money doing that. But yeah, you could get. I haven't priced out a Camaro. I'd like a Camaro too, but yeah, I haven't priced one out. But because the reason I was saying Hertz, because you can get like a $10,000 car note, what, $200 a month, plus you add on your insurance. So you're looking at probably about 250. Well, 270. Let's say 270, 280, all in.
Yeah,
you can make that easy, especially with a Camaro.
And that's one thing that Adam James mentioned. He was saying that well, he goes, even if you had if you want to buy it cash, 10 grand cash, and you're cash flowing after expenses $400 a month, he goes, that's a 40% return on your money. He goes, where else are you going to get 40% return on your money? And you wouldn't get that from the stock market, probably not even from real estate, man. That's a good return on investment right there.
Yeah. If you invest $100,000 a year at 17%, you'll be a millionaire. A billionaire, I'm saying. I think over 18 years or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's a lucrative market. I haven't looked at the Turo market. I've been looking at it, seeing how you could add it on. I think it's a good add-on, What do you plan on doing? You going to drop your car off at the airport, or are you going to try to specifically assign it to Airbnb hosts by having it sit in your backyard?
I think that would limit me if I did that. And so, and one advantage I have is that I work at the airport.
Okay.
So I mean, I could drive that thing every day, and I have friends that live around me. So let's say one day someone needs it, rents it that day. I just drop it off at the airport and hitch a ride back home with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I have an extra vehicle. Yeah. So I have an advantage. I have a leg up, and so that's pretty big right there.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Let me know what those returns like on Turo. Might start Turo or my Kia. Pay off the car note.
Why not, man? Try it out.
Yeah.
At least it'll give us something to talk about. And we're share economy. We're heavy Airbnb, but yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll do a little for the Patreon, do a little Turo episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of the Patreon, you like that segue right there?
Yeah. Yeah,
we've been beefing up our Patreon page, and for people that don't know, Patreon is it's a page where you can go there and donate a couple bucks to Live Let Thrive, so we can keep this this train going, and you get privilege to some content, some exclusive content that we don't put out there on the free podcast. We love the free podcast. We're all about it. No commercials. We don't want to load you up with commercials. And we're going to continue to do that. But, people have been asking, they've been emailing or, calling us up and thanking us for, all that we've done. And that's kind of cool. Here, inspiring stories that we've inspired people to do to make some money. And they said, hey, how can we throw y'all a few dollars, man? Y'all got a page or something? And they've even mentioned Patreon in the past. They said, y'all got a Patreon page where we can donate? It's no, not yet, but that's a good idea. So we finally got our Patreon page up, and we're doing episodes exclusively for the Patreon, and it's we're charging $1 an episode, and a subscription to all the stuff is unlimited subscription is $5 a month or whatever. And then we're gonna start putting blogs on there. I've been always wanted to blog, so we're gonna start a blog on there, and there'll be free stuff too, the blog. I want that people can read that, no problem. But episodes we're gonna make for there, some of them will be free, some of them will be you pay $1 and you get to listen to whatever. So we've been loading it up lately. We're really excited about it. It's it's a way to show your appreciation to the Live Let Thrive guys if you like what we're doing. So there you go.
All right. There you go. Yeah, that's the Patreon page. We got that coming to you. Most def. But yeah, man, so just been on my end, man, just been working, trying to find this house, trying to find a lot, not a house. Well, a lot. I already have 2 floor plans I'm working on. So, I'm trying to get the house built, cut back on some expenses, start house hacking again. But this time, the person's going to be in their own separate apartment that's attached to the house. So that's pretty much all I've been up to. I was actually, because I was all the way up in Richardson, I drove back down to Arlington. I stopped around the corner and looked at some lots. I've got a few builders' contact info. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. Just working, hustling. Yeah, man, that's been a job, man, trying to find a lot, then working with a lender to give you the deal on the lot and the land, the construction and the land together. So been kind of tiring, but it's working.
Yeah, man, do your homework and get the best deal you can. You said you were looking in Euless?
I was. But the thing is, I looked at how expensive land is out there. It's pretty expensive. I never really, because Mahogany had passed by Euless, and she said I wouldn't mind living in Euless because she found a development out there. And then we found out the development was really like one of those. They have a whole townhome development coming out in Euless. So it's like, in townhomes, of course, they always have HOAs. So and plus, townhome wouldn't really fit. But yeah, man, that's why I looked out there, and then I started looking and seeing how much the lots were. The numbers wouldn't have worked out there, which I had never really touched Euless too much.
Right. Well, I think Mahogany would love about Euless because I used to live there back in the day, and it's like 5 minutes drive to the airport. Where I worked, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And I lived in apartments, and so but yeah, I loved it out there. It was a good vibe. It was laid back, just really nice neighborhoods. And what the thing is, there's a park that connects like the whole Euless almost, man. And it has all these trails, walking trails, bike riding trails, all this stuff, man. So if she likes all that outdoor, park, getting her exercise on, that's got a lot of that over there. It's really cool.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into. I've never seen. I need to Google map it, like look at the aerial satellite on it.
Yeah. That's my goal, man. My goal is always to get back that way because I wanted to be closer to my job.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of close. I'm over here in Hertz, which Hertz is kind of close. Then you get closer as Bedford, then the closest is Euless, because actually touching the airport. You know what I'm saying? See,
I was thinking the only reason I was like really looking at Euless too, because I guess you could have a good market out there if you have an Airbnb apartment out there. Maybe looking more like a crash pad or something. But I heard
crash pads. That's the way to go over there, I think.
Yeah.
Because DFW Airport it's a whole city, man. And so there's tons of people that work here that live other places in the country, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so especially flight attendants, because they're usually, a lot of times they're based in Chicago or they're based here, they live in Chicago, they're based here and they live in New York or Cali. And so they just want a crash pad, just a place to sleep, and do their thing. I mean, there's guys that make them, Ramper is funny. Rampers are the guys that throw your bags on the plane, right?
Yeah.
And they, it's funny, they get a bad rap sometimes. I used to be a ramper when I first started, and they called us ramp rats and shit like that. But there was this guy, he was a ramper, and he had several houses. This is back in the day. He's probably got even more now. And he just made them into crash pads, put a communal living room that has like 4-bedroom house, and he'd even get them built. He was doing so good. He'd build these houses, the specifications he wanted, close to the airport at Euless. And then he'd just rent out each room. He'd put bunk beds in each room, or he'd put a single bed in each room, or one of the rooms, and they could pay double for that, to have their own privacy. And he'd have pilots come through, flight attendants, workers from other stations, just commuters. And it was perfect for him because they were hardly ever there. They were just there to sleep and get back home.
And so get that guy on the podcast. He sounds like he knows a lot.
I need to find him, man. He's been doing it for a long time. And he's just a ramp rat, a guy that's just throwing your bags and people look down on him. Shit, he's got way more money in your bank account than most people do.
Dang. Yeah, and it's perfect for him because he knows the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he knows who's coming in, how often they come in. Man, dude.
And he said they have to be commuters. He don't want you don't mess with no long-termers. Really? He wants proof that you're a commuter, that you don't live there, and you live somewhere else. I mean, imagine that.
Kind of like Airbnb and vetting people that are the locals.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he even he has like a house cleaner come in once a week and clean the house, keep it clean, keep it nice and going for him. Gives a full cable, big screen TV, nice sofas, communal area and shit. So
there you go. People that live by airports, crash pads may be the thing for you. Really, because I mean, most of the time they have hotels, and I guess that's always the alternative to a hotel is an Airbnb or a crash pad. But
yeah.
Man, speaking of Airbnb, my mom, she texted me. She said, always listen to the reviews because we had let somebody in. It was one of the middle of the week days, and it was like, man, it was one of the ones you just accepted last minute. And man, they didn't trash the place, but you could tell they just kind of left it a mess. They had McDonald's cups all in the sink, 30 dishes. And that's one thing I guess I would really ask about crash pads is how does he keep it clean?
Yeah, like I said, he has a cleaner once a week, goes in there and cleans the house.
Okay, so the cleaner comes once a week?
I think once a week. I think. if I'm correct.
How does the turnover? Yeah, I like to talk to him then, because I want to see how he's handling turnovers, things like that. Because if you have a crash pad and they come once a week, I know the pilots coming in left and right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'd be interested in talking to him. Yeah, see if you can find him.
I'm gonna look for him. Yeah. That's inspiring stuff, man. So you're a millionaire next door kind of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We got a new.
I'll go ahead.
What's up? Oh, I was just gonna say we got a new logo, and that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah. We got that popping off soon. We'll have some logos in the back for that. So, but yeah, I was saying it was the Cowboys 2-0. Has that helped your prices? Your price has been going up.
3-0.
Well, 3-0 now.
No, it's not, because they booked all my weekends. Like as soon as I put my face up, man, I thought charging $250 or plus a night would be okay. I'm making good money, but man, they booked them all up. I should have charged $300 a night. I didn't know. Like I said, I hadn't done Airbnb in a minute. I posted the stadiums. Hindsight, I should have charged $300 or more a night.
300 or just try to get those weekday prices booked up, man. Whatever you got to do to get those booked up. But yeah, I turn on Pricelabs. And it's funny, speaking of Pricelabs, my boy Josh, he sent me a good little tip, man. I'm about to give this tip to this one to Josh. He sent a good tip about Pricelabs and structuring it. He was saying to avoid like how you were having the weekends, he goes, what he does is he sets a 4-night minimum for 20 days out, and then a 2-night minimum for 7 to 19 days out, then a 1-night minimum for 1 to 7 days out.
Nice.
Yeah, so he always has, you know what I'm saying? So when it gets closer, they still have to book 3 nights, 2 nights, and then 1 night that week of. I was like, I like that. That's smart.
The scientist. Man. It is science.
Yeah, that's definitely one you should look into, especially if we got places by the stadium. Those are going to be booked, especially this time of year.
Shit, yeah. I told you my goal was to get 4K a month, right?
Did you hit it?
So with this last booking that I got, last minute booking, I got 3,600 and something for this month. So that's pretty good. Yeah. I didn't get the 4K yet, but hopefully next month I'm gonna get the 4K.
Are you booked the rest of the month?
For September?
Yeah.
September, yeah. This guy filled up the rest because I had, all the weekends were taken.
Man, this must have been slow for me, man. In my Little Rock Airbnb, it was slow, but picked back up next month because of Pricelabs. Of course, people have to book 4 days or more, so I got like a few 7 to 10 day bookings in there. That's pretty much what you want. 2 of those, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's picking back up though. Because I'm interested in probably getting one by the stadium again, possibly. I'll see though. That's why I want my house kind of be similar to kind of by the stadium a little bit. You can get that crowd to come in.
Oh yeah, big time. It's all about the stadiums. New logo. Oh, it was real quick on the logo because I was chatting with Jerome today. Jerome in the house.
Yeah.
And he's doing big things. He don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet. But he's kicking some serious ass, and he could teach us a few things now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta talk to him.
So he's gonna come on the show. He wants to. He said, give it a little bit more time because he wants to come on the show guns blazing. But anyways, if you don't know Jerome Charles, he's been on our show before a while back. You gotta go look up that
episode number.
We might put it in the show links if you remember. Jerome Charles, he's a cool dude. But anyways, he was saying, oh yeah, he was talking a little noise. Oh yeah, I got a new logo and stuff. I see. He goes, who are those handsome guys you got to be on the cover, man? Talking noise. I was like, oh man, we paid a few models to get up on there. He's laughing. So Jerome's doing good, man. So another person that was inspired by the show that's taking it to another level.
He's in Carolina, right?
Yeah, he's from Philly.
But he's in.
I believe is it Carolina?
One of the Carolinas?
Or Indianapolis?
No, that's Kim and Ann. It's got to be Carolina. Because I know South Carolina is a really good market. But, of course, it's a seasonal market. Myrtle Beach is seasonal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I think North Carolina actually be a good market because you got sports all the time out there, right?
Oh yeah, my Tar Heels, baby.
Yeah, you got the Tar Heels. You got the Panthers. Yeah, that'd be a good little town too. I don't know about the regulations, and according to everything, they said Dallas might be coming down on regulations soon.
Yeah. Oh well, they all are, right?
Yeah, bad stuff, boy.
What's Dallas trying to do?
I just heard it from Sean Ray on his Instagram stream. He was like, they had said something about it because of the complaints, of course. So people complaining, take it to the city council. City council starts making up their rules. They haven't said anything yet, and it was Dallas is one of the cities. I said, be careful, because there ain't no regulations, and there ain't no regulations. Airbnb don't pay taxes to them, so be careful. So, hey. Dallas might next be on that radar.
Now, real quick, you say that encompass, like, let's say, is Plano part of Dallas?
No, that city of Dallas.
Okay,
Plano has their own rules and laws. Plano's pro Airbnb. Yeah, you can have a legal Airbnb out in Plano.
Because it's like there's counties, which is it Dallas County? Is that what, like the counties that Plano's in, and Grand Prairie's in Dallas County? Like we're in Tarrant County, right?
Yeah, they're all Dallas County. Once you start going far north up there, that becomes Collin County, I believe, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And then Denton County and
yeah,
and it's all it's weird, but the laws don't go by counties; they go by the cities themselves, right?
Yeah, local government, and then the county, of course, can charge taxes, but it's all city, local government.
Make hay while the sun's up. Well, the sun's up, right? Because it seems like it's regulations going everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, San Antonio, they put your after you register with them, they put your public information on their website.
Ooh,
so I'll be like, all right, y'all have fun with that one.
Oh man, we got a lot of topics. You got a lot of topics. I got a lot of topics.
Yeah, we'll actually answer a few questions from fans at the end. We got a couple. Yeah, like 2 or 3 questions got sent in, and
sweet. Live Let Thrive podcast about Airbnb, share economy, Turo, all that stuff. I was gonna say, I would say random shit that comes to my head real quick, and then we'll dive in. I saw the future, man. Whenever I say the future, and technology is advancing at a crazy rate. But I was thinking, okay, I texted you that we run this episodes on Zoom, and I was like, well, now the Zoom's updating. Decided to update right when I turned it on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I felt like this urge to show you, like with my phone. Look, it's updating. Wait a minute. I was like, phones are gonna get that good to where you just, like we'll be texting somebody, you just point the phone at something, you swipe left a little bit, and it just opens up this the camera to like, hey, look what I'm looking at right now. It's like I said, it's gonna get to the point where you just point your phone at something while you're texting with somebody. Hey, check this out. You're just gonna swipe, and they're gonna instantly see what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? That has to be the next step, right?
Snapchat.
Does Snapchat do that?
That's pretty much that's all Snapchat is. Except nobody else can see it. I think that's how Snapchat works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one stock that, if we're gonna talk stocks, that just never did anything, man.
Snapchat? Didn't they get bought or no?
I don't think so.
I think it would have been hard because Facebook and Instagram came out with the stories and all that, and it kind of but people still use Snapchat. I personally don't use it, but people use it really, really heavy.
They use it to put like bunny ears on and freaking.
Is that Snapchat?
Yeah, that's Snapchat.
That's Snapchat? Okay.
They do all those face things and stuff like that. Yeah.
See, I haven't really touched Snapchat. That's one I haven't touched. But that may be a future thing going on there.
Yeah, we cover all the bases, right? So what do you want to talk about on your end today, man?
Man, I was depending on you to come with a real heavy conversation. I've been looking at, man,
I got some good combo.
I just been really just paying attention to different markets, man, looking at different markets. Detroit, they're tripping out there, man. Of course, they're banning up stuff, but
why are they banning Airbnb? They're like struggling, man. They don't want people to come visit.
I don't get it. I don't get it. But it's people making a killing out in Detroit right now, man. Maybe Detroit. I don't know if it's making a comeback, but people making a killing in that market right now. I remember everybody laughed a long time ago. People were like, Detroit? Nah, you can't go to Detroit, man. People out there making a killing.
Yeah, homegirl from that was on the Bigger Pockets. She's buying houses left and right for 10 G's and then instantly refinancing them for like 50, 60 G's, pulling all her money out and then some. I'm like, God dang.
It's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. Yeah,
she's a badass.
That's an immediate.
You want to get into some deep questions, right?
Yeah.
I got a little something. What do you value more? Money, making more money, or your time, or
time
freedom?
All day. Time.
Yeah. Because something that Adam James said that really got to me or stuck with me, and he was saying, and he's always trying to be a little bit funny, a little bit self-deprecating humor a little bit, but he was on point with this one because he said, and the funny part was at the end what he said at the end, but what he said was like right away he goes, I don't care about money. He goes, I'm not doing this for more money. I'm doing this for more freedom. He goes, if I can't automate it, I ain't gonna do it because I'm lazy. And I'm like Adam James. When I think of the word lazy, he's like the furthest thing from the word I could think of. Adam James. He's a hustler. He's got all this business going on. He's CEOs of all these companies. He's got, everything you can think of. Student loans. He's doing credit repair. He's doing he's helping you build business credit. He's got so many things. Of course, with Airbnbs, rentals, now Turo, and then and he called himself lazy.
Me too. Man. That's why when you kept telling me you were scrubbing toilets, I thought you were crazy. Yeah, man. But some people, I'm very lazy too. I'm very much. That's why I talk to them about all the time. How do you automate this? That's why I'm not hopping in Turo because I didn't understand how to automate it. That's why I didn't hop in it. But once I have that piece, how do I automate? I'm the same way. You got to be able to automate it. I mean, that's coming to the book Cash Flow Quadrant. It teaches you that. Rich Dad Poor Dad touches on it a little bit, but Cash Flow Quadrant goes deep in it to where how much time connects to your spirituality. It's like crazy how deep you're in that. Energy, all that.
And on that note, this is why I think, in a way, that you've heard of your freedom number. What's your freedom number? You've heard that before?
I've heard of that.
And then people say, oh, 4,000 a month. That's my goal. I'm going to do 4,000 a month. Or I'm going to do, I can live off comfortably 10,000 a month. That's my freedom number. I think that's BS a little bit because you're just trying to get to a point where you're making that much cash flow. Okay, that's fine. But if you're starting things that you're passionate about that, they're going to make you some money and build you a cash flow and build, and you can automate it to where it's doing it without you. Why stop doing that? Why stop at $4,000 a month? Okay, now I'm just going to stop and drink beers and do nothing. Or I'm going to stop and...
They won't. They won't.
The people that get to that number?
Yeah, they just go get more. They find more other things to do. That's what people say that if they've never had it. Yeah, they won't. It's like inevitable. If you're a hustler, you just have that mentality. That's just who you are. Even if you have that number, that's just something people talk about and say. And then once they have it, they're like, oh, well, I want to do this now. It's kind of like what Adam said on the last show. Okay, we've mastered Airbnb. What's next? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Things keep going on. Okay, now we want to hop into what David Weems said. Okay, now I want to hop into the medical field. It's just because your life can't be, I'm gonna just retire and sit on the beach. You have to have something you have have some sort of passion or something that you like doing.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. You start in these businesses, and with anything, you start something, and you're passionate. That fire's burning at first. Oh, you're all excited about it. For example, Airbnb. Excited about it. You're getting your Airbnb going. You got to the IKEA. You're going to the marketplace, loading it up. Then you get the first renters, and it's an exciting time. And then after a few people, treat your place bad, and then you get a few people that don't communicate well, or this and that. Then it kind of wears on most people, and they're not passionate no more. And then it just turns into a grind, especially because they didn't automate it. They're still doing all the stuff themselves. And I think even David Flippett Williams said that he does all the cleanings himself because he wants all the money.
Mm-hmm.
But really, we didn't tell him nothing at the point where we're like, really you should, fire yourself from that part of it, because you can grow a lot faster instead of like doing like Steve was doing and scrubbing toilets or whatever. You should fire yourself from that job because there's someone that could do it better, probably for cheaper.
Yeah, for real, man. Yeah, that's like basic business, man. You got to be able to automate. Like right now with Airbnb, the only reason, like, plus, like I have these Airbnbs making money or whatnot, but I want something else. Like right now, I want to cut my expenses, so I'm getting another house built so I can cut my expenses and then start paying off stuff like cars. Then once you're at that freedom, there's something else to go after, So it's always something, and then life always has its unexpected events and whatever.
Yeah, that's true. You can have a baby coming and stuff, which I do next month. Got a baby on its way. Actually, it could come out any day now, they're saying. So
congratulations.
Ooh, so I might be setting the headphones down and running out the door, man.
Yeah. Oh, so
thank you.
Here's a question from a guest. I forgot who sent this to me. But they asked me, because I have a bunch of questions in my inbox on Facebook. I got to start keeping track. But they asked me, do you think Airbnb will win over the hotel industry like Uber did taxi?
Now, that's a loaded question, because did they really win over? When you're talking about win over, you mean like, okay, y'all are buddies now. Y'all can keep, y'all are cool. No, the taxis still hate them and still push for legislation to try to ban or keep Uber out of airports in certain spots, right?
On that situation, I mean, I think he meant, will Uber, because Uber overtook taxis. Yeah, I think he meant overtake them.
I would say no. I don't think so, because our natural progression is to become hotels ourselves, right? So how are you gonna, I don't know. I don't understand it too much.
I actually said I don't think it will. I don't think Airbnb will overtake the hotel industry because it's too much money behind it. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. That's how I looked at it. Then you can ban Airbnbs, you know what I'm saying? So that was my answer to that question.
Right. And on that point, I guess I see it this way. With Uber, well, now and maybe rightfully so, now a lot of the drivers are, protesting and stuff, saying they ain't getting paid nothing, and they ain't getting paid nothing, and barely, whatever, minimum wage, if that. And so they're like, well, we should get paid more per ride. They shouldn't take as much money and all this stuff. So, and then there's sympathizers on the side of customers, and they're like, yeah, they should get paid more. Well, okay, well, they're going to get paid more, and they're just going to be as much as taxis used to be, right? It's just going to go all the way full circle. So a price, it's going to be more convenient because you can do it with your phone and boom, boom. But it's going to be cost just as much, who knows, maybe more than taxis one day. So it's just, it just filled in a void for a little bit, and then everything gets back to that equilibrium,
Oh, no, I don't think Uber's going to pay him because Uber can't turn a profit.
Yeah.
So Uber might be like, I think Uber's throwing their money into electric to self-driving cars.
That's the thing. That's the big thing.
So, I mean, I don't ever think, even if these plus the drivers sign up themselves, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can complain all you want. You signed up to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a whole bunch of people out there that are comfortable with that and the money that Uber's giving them. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. That's an interesting one.
Now, the ones that I thought did have a gripe was back when Uber just first started, and you could only use these big black SUVs, right, to be part of Uber. That was before Uber X. Uber X is just anybody's car can use anybody can use anything, freaking junkers out there. But before that, you had Uber was proud of their brand and their name. You had to have these brand new black SUVs. You'd see them lined up outside the clubs and stuff. That's what Uber was. But then Lyft came along and said, no, anybody can use any car they got, and they can be, they can drive for us. That's cool. And so Uber's like, oh shit, we got a real threat here. So they went to Uber X. That means anybody could use any, decent car. Yeah, and yeah.
Lyft is Lyft's cheaper, but I don't ever use them, man.
No, I haven't used them yet either.
Yeah, no, I have used them, but don't use with Lyft, man. Lyft, anybody come pick you up, man. They'll pick you up in a hoopty, man, and take you some dead serious, dog. You go in a Lyft, you be like, damn, what is this?
Dude, I was in some freaking hoopties in LA when I mean, everybody there, it seemed like every car I saw on the freeway, on the roads, had an Uber sticker, and they had that Lyft thing. They were all Uber and Lyft drivers on top of whatever the hell they did, you know?
For real?
I mean, in LA, you got to have 2 or 3 gigs to get by, dude. It's so expensive over there. And so so everybody, it seemed everybody was an Uber or Lyft. So you never had to wait long for one because everywhere you went, dude, there was one ready to pick you up.
That's how it was in Miami.
And there was some hoopties, dude. There was some junker cars picking us up, man.
Matter of fact, the Ubers and Lyft drivers in Miami, me and Mahogany had just got off the ship, man. The Lyft driver, he pulled up, and I guess he didn't have a ride, man. He had just pulled up to the ship. He hops out the car. I was like, hey, man, I'll take you anywhere you want to go for $25. Man, it was like Lyft and Ubers waiting, lining up, and who had rides and were searching for their people. Man, he pulled up, man. A group of 5 people hopped in that dude's car so quick. Think about it. If you're 5 people and he wants 20, that's $5 a piece, man. You can't beat that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, in different cities, it just has a different effect, man.
Man,
but,
that's.
Oh, here goes another question from Deep Sharma. He asked me, "How do you build your business credit?"
It's a good question. That's a good question for Adam James.
That is a good question. But no, I'll go ahead.
I don't know how to do it, so I haven't dabbled.
I was going to tell him. I said what I did to build it was I just had created an LLC. From that LLC, I created a bank account with the EIN from my LLC's EIN attached to the bank account. 2 years of income. You can apply for a business credit card as soon as you have an EIN. You can get like $7,000, whatever, but you want to get away from credit cards. So after you get the 2 years, they'll start sending you. Make sure you're filing taxes on your LLC every year. So you have 2 years of income and 2 years of filed taxes. They'll just throw you lines of credit. Like, hey, here's lines of credit. You can get a line of credit for like 4%. That's like the percentage on a house. They give you a line of credit for 4%. Then like for that to be 4% for the first year, and go up to 5% the next year. So that's pretty much how I did it. And I know there's other ways. Adam, he knows how to use trade lines, which I need to hit him up about that. So yeah, it's multiple ways to do it.
What is that? I heard him say trade lines over and over again. What the hell is trade lines?
That's something I got to do my research on. I haven't used that part of credit because I've been moving more towards lines of credit, moving that way, getting away from credit cards and just going towards straight lines of credit, man. You can't beat those interest rates.
Shit, no.
Better than hard money.
Then it don't mess with your personal credit. It don't mess with your personal money is the most important thing.
Yes, sir. And it isn't even tied to your Social Security number. And then you have one more question, Jason from Cincinnati.
Jason from Cincinnati had a good question. Okay. He said, it sounds like a radio, and Jason from Cincinnati called in. I haven't seen my girlfriend in. No, I'm just kidding. That's a Casey Kasem back in the day. I have one Airbnb. I'm thinking of getting a second one. The one I have takes up a lot of my time. What automation apps do y'all recommend? Or should I get a co-host? Thanks. Automation apps. I mean, that's a broad question because, I mean, obviously you need a pricing app. We would think you need it helps. I know people that don't use pricing apps, and okay, good for you, whatever. But I'd use a pricing app that takes a whole big chunk of your time off instead of having to change prices every day, every week, whatever. Of course, get a cleaner, Turnover B&B. That's a great app right there. That's how we use our cleaners. And as far as those two, do you use the apps that automatically talk to people? What are they called?
I use Smart B&B for my
Smart B&B. Now, how much does that charge a month?
I gotta look up how much they hit me for. I think my last bill was like $68. No, it was like 100 and something. It's like they only take money if you have a payout off that account. Then it's like 10, might be like $6 a month per payout per listing that has a payout per month. So yeah, it's just very cheap. I need to start keeping track of how much they charge me, but it ain't expensive. I did the math on it before. But yeah, I use Smart B&B, Turnover B&B, and then Pricelabs. and beyond prices for my timeshares.
Nice.
Yeah, but I mean, or should you get a co-host? I mean, that's pretty much probably what a co-host is going to do is get all those apps and connect it for you. So it's either you do it yourself or get a co-host. I mean, the thing about doing it yourself, it's only 10 minutes worth of work. And you ain't got to do it no more. Or you can get a co-host and it's no work, but you pay them 20%. I mean, it's up to – it depends on how you want to weigh it out. If I was in Jason's shoes, I would just weigh out the cost of a co-host and the cost of all those apps.
Also, the cost of your mental health while you're trying to juggle all these things, because if you know what's happening, I think that's a big thing that we never talk about. You know, there's these they talk about these personality tests that a lot of jobs are requiring or asking their employees to do, and a questionnaire, and it helps you figure out what type of person you are. You know, if you're more of what kind of thinker you are. Yeah. And on that note, it helps them put you in the right spots at work that you ain't going crazy or that you can be the most productive. Yeah. And I'd like to take. I heard him talk about it on Bigger Pockets even, and I'm like, I want to take this test. I kind of know what kind of personality I am because what if Jason's more of the type that he's just too much of a micromanager and he'll drive himself crazy even if he does have all these apps, and he's try a different one, try all these different things to try to maximize, or then he's going to go to the house after the cleaners and they'll go crazy because they didn't do everything perfect. And is it worth it on taking that kind of toll on his mental health? Whereas you could just pay 20% to somebody, you never even have to look at the damn house. And as long as those checks is coming in, you might check the house once or twice a month or once a month or so, just to make sure it ain't, going to hell. But I mean, just on your mental health alone, like Adam James says, he values his freedom more than money, and 20% is not a lot to pay for your freedom, right?
That's real talk. You hit something deep right there. You said knowing yourself. That's like a huge, huge thing. You have to know your personality in business. If you don't know your personality, business is going to kick your ass and teach you your personality. Straight up. That's real talk. If you don't know your personality, it's going to kick your behind and it'll teach. But that's what it does. It teaches you your personality and what you can deal with. Some people don't know. I had to learn a lot in business, like what I want to deal with. Like, I'm like, man, and then if you've seen my post the other day about surrounding yourself with other business-minded people, like with Mahogany starting her business, I've watched things she does in her business, and I use it in mine, like with customer service and stuff, like following back up with people. Like, she's real good with that. I'm terrible at that because I'm not really good at people. I'm not a people person. So I was like, oh, you follow back up with your clients? I'm like, that's a smart idea. I started doing it. So, but yeah, it really does teach you your personality. You have to know your personality in business. You got to know because your personality is going to teach you what you need to hire out. I think that's essentially what you're trying to say, right?
Right. Yeah. So, man. Yeah, I mean, so find out, Jason, who you are, Jason. And if you know it's going to drive you crazy, if one is already driving you crazy, even with or without apps that you're using, then two will put you over the edge, man. You'll be stressing big time. So maybe a co-host, if you find a good co-host or friend, or maybe teach someone how to do it and then hand over the reins to them, and there you go, man. And go find the next one and hand over the reins, and just that's how you become a business. What do they say? Work on the business, not in the business, whatever.
Straight up. That's tough.
Yeah. So good question, Jason. And that's the question of the day, I think. What do you think? You think we should send them a T-shirt, an LLT T-shirt?
Yeah. We get those popped off. We can do that.
So
that was a good. That was
coming.
Yeah, that was a really good question. That was a real good question. Definitely.
And keep them coming. And question of the day, we'll get a free T-shirt or free something from LLT. And so there you go.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, definitely thanks for the questions. We'll definitely people keep sending them in. We'll get those answered for you.
You had a good an observation a few weeks ago. A good observation. It was because you said your mom and your aunt clean your house in Arkansas, or they do the turnovers?
They manage it for me. Yeah, they take care of it.
Okay, and they hadn't been telling you about stuff missing.
Yeah,
and so
they would just go to the store and buy it and wouldn't tell me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
because they manage it, but not like they manage it, but it's more of a partnership. Because I want to know how much. Because I still want to know if I were to have a real management company on this place, how much am I going to be taking out of pocket? You know what I mean? Because they get paid to do it, but it's like I still need to know numbers so I can run them. And that's true. Yeah, you got to make sure you're cleaner, especially if you have someone like a family member who like really deeply takes it and cares about it. They probably ain't gonna tell you when stuff's missing or when they're replacing items. What were you gonna say about that?
Well, I had gone to the house the other day because I forgot what I was doing there. I was gonna go get something. I was reloading the supplies because I just happened to be. I went to my dentist, which is over there in what's that called? South of Arlington. What's that? Mansfield. Yeah. So I've always gone to that dentist, and it's still my dentist. So I was across town. So on the way back home, I'll go drop off some supplies at the Airbnb, load up the supply closet. And I went there. And of course, I got to poke my head around, right? Just I'm going to look at the house. It was already cleaned and ready. But there was a remote control missing. And I was, I did a little quick look around. And these are the Roku remote controls. Mm-hmm. And I did a quick look around, but I had to get back home. And I was like, man, I'm just going to go. Luckily, there's 3 Roku TVs there. That's the TCLs. Mm-hmm. And there's 2 remotes. And luckily, you can use any remote on any TV. Yeah. So I just left one in the back room, one in the front room where the other 2 TVs kind of close by each other. And I looked it up on Amazon. You can get them for $6 on Amazon. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, it's not worth all the stress and headache. It's probably fell in some sofa somewhere. I ain't gonna go sofa diving for like an hour and looking at every tear of the house apart to look for this thing. So I went to Amazon at that moment and I ordered 2 of those Roku remotes just to have a couple spares just in case. But like you said, I don't know if the last guest, because I haven't been to the house in a minute. I don't know if the last guest lost it or the one before that lost it because the cleaners didn't tell me.
Yeah.
And I try to stay on top of it. Say, how's the house? How'd they leave it? Oh, that's a good 5 stars. I said, oh, okay. I just got to take their word for it.
Did you give them like a list?
There's a checklist on my turnover B&B page, which I don't know if they always follow it. I just got to trust them that they followed it kind of thing.
I mean,
I've been getting 5 stars. I've been getting 5 stars reviews.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can trust it. But at the same time, let's say you go over there again and the Roku remote's not there. Then it kind of gives you an indicator. But if the Roku remote's there and you've told her, hey, make sure the Roku remote's there, report anything that's missing, you'll know she's doing it. Me, like on the reviews thing, like the only time I even leave a bad review, like I don't even talk to my cleaner about that. Like the only time I'll leave a bad review if they tell me to. Like if other than that, they get an automatic 5-star review. Because the last guy I told you I let in last minute, he got like a 2-star review because of how he left the place and stuff, junk everywhere. I'll only do it if my cleaner tells me like, hey, this place looked terrible. That's the only time.
And that's the thing. That's her profession. Her and her crew or 2 other ladies or whatever. Yeah, that's her profession. She's used to cleaning dirty houses. To them, that's her job. I mean, it's not like, oh my God, the house is a mess. That's her job. So she's not gonna go. She never complains. If it's like it was my wife doing it, she'll tell me right away, oh, man, the house is messy. Leave them a bad review. But her...
does your cleaner understand Airbnb, though?
She cleans Airbnbs, but she's so hesitant. Like one lady, I told you, she threw a party. It was like a kid's party or whatever. Yeah. Left balloons behind, left it kind of messy. And I mean, it was, to me, I would have given her a bad review. My wife, if my wife told me something like that, but to her, there's some things. And I had to go by the house that day to pick something up. Oh, and she left like full balloons in there. She's like, oh, don't worry, I'll just pop them and then I'll throw them away that way. And this and that. I was like, man, this is. I told people no parties at the house. To me, I was kind of like, but to her it was no big deal. She's seen worse houses and that's her job is to clean the house. And she got it perfect again and moved on. And I was like.
I'd say this. The reason why it may be like that, and this is also another thing, I'm not going to rag turnover B&B, but there's another thing that you have to kind of vet your cleaners. You have to know, are you talking to a cleaner or someone who understands the Airbnb platform and how it works? See, the people who manage mine, my mom, my aunt, they understand Airbnb turnovers and how it works. So they only text me if they know, hey, this person probably needs to warn the next host of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't ever text like today. I think they had a turnover probably today or something. I haven't heard from them, so I know it went smooth. But like on your shoes, it seems like they're just cleaning. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then if they're plus my aunt, I told you she used to manage the embassy suites, so she understands turnover. Like, you know, she understands every single process. But yeah, that's a depending factor too. Is do they understand a turnover? And then also the Airbnb platform and ratings and how all that works and all that. One thing you could do to help her though, add her as a team member on your Airbnb page, and then she can start seeing everything that goes on. And then she'll understand it, and then she'll know when to send you a message. Then you ain't got to ask her every time, hey, what's the review? She'll just tell you when it's a bad review. Then you can set up auto reviews and not have to even handle it.
So as a team member, do you have to pay them out like co-hosts, or how does that work?
No, just be a team. They just take it as, hey, this person's on Steven's team. They work for Steven, and you just pay them the cleaning fee like you do. That's how my mom learned it. I made her a team member. Once she became a team member, she started looking at the messages, understanding. She's like, oh, this is how Airbnb works. And once she figured out how it works, then she knows, okay, if the place looks like this, I'll send you I'll tell you they need to be marked down on this, on the house rules or on the cleaning, or, you know, stuff was broke, you know, then she starts understanding the Airbnb process.
Team members. Yeah. I haven't tried that yet. So that's a great point for this episode. Team members.
Yeah.
And so, would you like to dive deeper into that? Is there any more to talk about on
team members? I mean, it's just you can't. I think the person can't have any listings or something like to be a team member. This is really good for virtual assistants, like people who don't have Airbnb account. But if they go through it, they receive the messages, and you can kind of give them options of what they can have access to. If you don't want them seeing your finances, you can click that off. If you don't want them seeing all your listings, you can turn that off. But if you don't want them to see guest communication, you can turn that off. So you can choose what they have access to. That's what I use for my mom and not my aunt. Put them on there. I gave them access to everything. Then they start learning the system. It's just like you being on it. Once you got inside of Airbnb, you kind of just learned it. If you do that same thing with your cleaners will get better at their job and like telling you what's going on, things like that.
Could they take it a step further and start like actually running it for you, like answering the messages and stuff like that?
Yep.
That's game changing.
That's what my mom does. If she sees a message for that particular Airbnb, she'll answer it.
You get a co-host working for cleaners' wages, bro. If you play your cards right.
Straight up. That's what I've been trying to tell people. That's why I never use co-hosting. I've always used teams. I've never used co-hosting. I've always used teams because teams, they're working under you. Airbnb looks at it as, oh, they just work under your company. And me, I have my business company logo and then the team members under it.
Man, that's game changing shit right there.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let me do a screen share real quick, just a quick synopsis of how it works. I'll do a quick screen share for everybody who's this may encourage you guys to go to watch our YouTube version. But no, if you go to team right here, let me do a screen share.
It took us the entire ep to get to the point of this whole episode, but we're team heavy. We're doing Airbnb teams on this episode.
You see it?
Hell yeah. This is legit.
Yeah. So this right here is my virtual assistant in the Philippines, my mom, me, and another virtual assistant account.
Dang! You got four people running your Airbnb. That's freaking awesome. And you don't pay them, well, aside from your mom, pay the cleaning fees. But
cleaning fees, and then I just pay him by the hour.
So how does that work with him? I mean,
I have him I have this thing called here it is. This right here is how I manage all their hours. Man, I'm giving y'all some deep dive secrets. I need to be charging y'all for this.
Patreon. We're gonna dive into this on the next Patreon we're doing right after this ep. How about that? You want to say it for the Patreon?
Yeah, y'all stay on. But yeah, this is pretty much what I have managed all his hours. I just give him an 8 to 1. Depends on what week it is. Then just go through here. This is how I manage all of it. And then sometimes he has long weeks, sometimes it's short weeks. Just depends on the task and what it is. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Just manage it like that.
All right, man.
I can do it at the first of the month, manage all the hours, depends on what I need done. But yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Just use Teams.
That's freaking awesome. We're going to dive into that even more on our Patreon that's coming up next.
Yeah.
We charge $1 an episode. If you can't afford $1, send me a text. I might tell you how to earn $1 somewhere. That didn't sound right. Sorry about that. So we're going to dive into Teams and trade. Well, not trade lines. We don't know anything about that yet. Teams and the hell was the other thing we're talking about?
What were we talking about?
Teams and that home-based thing you were looking at.
Oh, yeah.
We might dive into that a little bit more. And the virtual assistants, that's where you're going to really turn into a legit business.
Oh, yeah. You have them managing everything for you.
And we're going to show you how to do that on our Patreon. So be sure. And also what's cool about Patreon, you get to hear these eps in their unedited glory right away, instantly. Boom, right on the Patreon page as soon as we record them, fresh hot off the presses. It's not all, edited and stuff. But you get to hear it first. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to wait another week or 2 weeks to hear it. You get to hear this stuff right away. And it might be the difference between you making a couple $100 to $1,000 this month. But anyways, enough commercials. I'd like to end it with talking about the podcast movement a little bit. I mean, the podcast movement. You've been going to these meetups and stuff on podcasting, and I think we have some listeners out there that have us. Oh man, I need to do a podcast and stuff like that. I would highly suggest trying it out, man. And we'll talk more on that too in the Patreon. But podcasting, man, it's a great way to not only hopefully make a little bit of money yourself one day, but the knowledge you get from all the guests that come on, people like whatever your passion is, and you're a Turo person. I interview a shitload of Turo people, and gives them exposure, and it gives you a ton of free knowledge from people. And I would highly recommend considering starting a podcast. And of course, we're here to consult if you need some questions answered on some podcasting. Yeah, so we love podcasting. We love Airbnb and the share economy. That's what we're all about, and we love sharing it all with you guys for free, except on the Patreon page. You got to pay $1. But it's been a good ep, man.
Definitely.
What do you think?
Yeah, definitely, man. We had a good little episode, dove into some good stuff. But yeah, man, definitely check us out, liveletthrive@gmail.com. Hit us up, IG, Facebook, YouTube. Remember, every Wednesday we are now going live on our page on YouTube and Facebook. Hit us up, watch our live videos, streams, all that good stuff.
Yeah, is it Patreon/liveletthrive? There you go. Look us up.
Yes, sir. Hop on the Patreon.
Patreon/liveletthrive, I guess, .com, and then
it'll also be in the show notes.
Yeah, it'll be in the show notes. So yeah, just go to Patreon and look us up. Live Let Thrive will pop up, boom, and you see our awesome artwork of our awesome faces, and you'll be like, wow, these guys are pretty cool.
Definitely.
Well, cool, man. Good app, and I'll see you on the Patreon.
Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.